Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be showing you all the best features of the OnePlus 7T, or literally all the features of OnePlus 7T. By the way, I've already made a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section, where I talked about many things which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now with that said, the first best thing about this phone is definitely its display. This phone has a 6.55-inch AMOLED display with 90Hz refresh rate, HDR10 Plus support, Full HD Plus resolution with the new 20:9 aspect ratio. It's also protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass and has 1000 nits of brightness. We all know AMOLED displays are always great for their saturated colors and true blacks, but the OnePlus 7T also uses a new generation AMOLED display that produces better colors while also reducing harmful blue light. And as I've said, it also has 1000 nits of brightness, so it can get pretty bright. Display is truly the most highlighting thing about this phone. Next, we have an in-display fingerprint scanner. Just like the previous OnePlus 7 Pro and the OnePlus 7, in-display fingerprint scanner on this phone is super fast. Now the next best thing about this phone would definitely be performance. This phone sports a Snapdragon 855 Plus processor with Adreno 640 GPU, with 8GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.0 storage. Snapdragon 855 Plus processor boosts 15% faster graphics rendering and an uplift in CPU performance over the standard Snapdragon 855 processor. It's also the latest and the most powerful processor produced by Snapdragon. So performance on this phone is just top notch, just like any other OnePlus phone. Next we have Warp Charge 30T. Just like the previous OnePlus phones, even this phone came with a version of dash charging. OnePlus calls it warp charging, but now they've improved it further. It's the fastest warp charge ever. You can get up to 70% of charge, that's 0 to 70% in just 30 minutes. So that's super fast. Next, we also have the face unlock feature. And just like all the previous OnePlus phones, it is super fast. Whether it's good lighting conditions or low lighting conditions or even in complete darkness, face unlock always works and it is super fast. Next, we have a brand new customization page with a lot of cool features. First, we have vibrant tints, which makes things look a bit more colorful. Next, we have illuminating light, which was the regular light mode. And finally, nuanced dark, which was the regular dark mode, which turns everything into dark and then your phone will look much more cooler. We can also change the accent colors, button styles, icon shapes from circles to rectangle to dewdrops to all the crazy things. We can also change the wallpapers, clock style in ambient display and fingerprint animations all from one place. Next, we also got some pretty good cameras on this phone. On the rear, this phone has a 48MP primary camera with Sony IMX586 sensor with f1.6 aperture. For selfies, it has a 16MP camera with Sony IMX471 sensor with f2.0 aperture. Now these are some sample shots. Next, we have telephoto lens. On the rear, this phone also has a 12MP camera with f2.0 aperture with telephoto lens that gives us 2x optical zoom. You can choose between two distinct focal lengths in portrait mode and each producing its own unique aesthetic. Next, we also have a wide-angle lens. On the rear, this phone also has a 16MP ultra-wide-angle camera with f2.2 aperture and 117° field of view. With distortion correction, we get about 102° field of view. These are some sample shots. Next, we have macro mode. Now this is a brand new feature on this phone, and using that, you can obviously take great looking macro shots. On this phone, we can also use this mode on all the three cameras, but it works better with a wide-angle camera. Next, we have Super Stable mode. Now this is another brand new feature which allows you to record video in 1080p, but it will give you a super stable footage. Here's a quick sample. Next, we can also record video using all the three cameras. Video resolution is set to 1080p at 30fps, but in this mode we can switch cameras. You can switch from the primary camera to telephoto lens, and then you can also go back to the wide angle camera even while recording video. Here's a quick sample.
Now this is a sample footage recorded using the primary camera of OnePlus 70. Audio is from the phone itself, and you can check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone. Now on this phone, while recording video, we can also switch between different cameras. And now I'm switching to the 2x camera or 2x digital zoom. Now as you can see, colors have changed quite a bit. Now this is something OnePlus iPhone handles really well, especially the 11 series. So this footage is being recorded with the telephoto lens. Now I'm gonna switch to the wide angle camera. And now this footage is from the wide angle camera. I'll just walk around for a bit.
Next, we can also record video in 1080p and 4K resolution at 60 fps, but it only works with the primary camera. Next, we can also record video in 4K resolution at 30 fps using the wide angle camera and the main camera. But unlike the previous mode, while recording the video, we can't switch between the cameras.
So guys, this is a sample footage recorded in 4K resolution at 30 fps using the primary camera. Audio is from the phone itself, so check out the noise cancellation and stabilization offered by the phone.
Next, we have portrait mode. Unlike the previous OnePlus phones which gave us your regular portrait mode with a fixed focal length, on this phone we can take two different types of portrait shots because of the wide angle camera and the telephoto lens. You can either take a close-up portrait shot or a wide angle portrait shot. Here's a quick sample. Next, we have NIGHTSCAPE, which is another name for a dedicated night mode to take better pictures in low lighting conditions. We can use this mode with the primary camera and even the wide angle camera. These are some sample shots. Next, we have digital well-being. Now this is a feature from Google which simply tracks all your usage on your phone and gives you a complete analysis of which applications you are using a lot or which applications receive the most notifications. Now using this feature, you can also limit your usage, which is pretty great. Next, we have wind down. Now this is also from Google and it's part of digital well-being, and it allows you to sleep faster at night. You can basically schedule it to automatically turn on the grayscale mode and do not disturb mode at a specific time and basically hint you to go to bed. Next, we can also change the refresh rate of the screen. Now one of the most highlighting features about this phone is definitely its display. It has a 90Hz display which makes things look very smooth. For some reason, if you want to save some battery and disable that, you can do it from the display settings. Next, this phone also supports slow motion video recording. We can record video at 1080p resolution at 240 fps and at 720p resolution at 480 fps. At least as of now, there is no support for 960 fps. Next, this phone also has dual stereo speakers, which is powered by Dolby Atmos, and they do sound pretty loud and pretty good. Here's a quick audio sample. Next, we also get a brand new haptic vibration motor on this phone. Haptic feedback on previous OnePlus phones up to OnePlus 6T were pretty bad, while on this phone, it's definitely good and way better than all other previous OnePlus phones. It's not as good as the Pixel phones, Samsung flagships or even the iPhones, but it is still pretty good and a pretty good upgrade. Next, we have Fanatic mode, which is an exclusive feature for just this phone. It can get rid of all your distractions while gaming. You can quickly enable it or launch it even while playing a game, and it allows you to block all incoming call notifications, and it turns your phone into a professional gaming device. Next, we have Zen mode. You can access it from the notification toggles, and once you enable this feature, it will literally not allow you to do anything for the next 20 minutes. Even if you restart your phone in those 20 minutes, it still takes you to the Zen mode. If you want to meditate for some time or put your phone down for some time, just give this a try. Next, we have a screen recorder built into the phone. Whether you want to just record your screen for a random purpose or for a tutorial, or if you want to record your game, then you can do all that from your phone with a built-in feature. You can access it from the toggles. You can also change the resolution, bitrate, you can even change the audio source and set video orientation. Next, we have the famous alert slider. Just like on all the previous OnePlus phones, even on this phone, we still get the alert slider. We have 3 modes: silent, vibration and ring. You can further configure each mode from settings. Using this alert slider, you can change to different modes without even looking at your phone. This is a very unique feature that's available only on the OnePlus phones. Unlike most flagships, this one has dual SIM support along with dual 4G and dual VoLTE LTE. Next, we have some brand new navigation gestures. Once you enable them, you can swipe from the bottom of the screen to go home. You can swipe and hold for recent apps, and then to go back, you can swipe from the left side or right side to go back a step. Finally, if you swipe left or right on the bottom bar, you can quickly switch between the current application and the previous application. Next, we have flip to mute. Now once you enable this feature, you can just flip your phone to mute an incoming call. Next, we have answer call by gesture. Now once you enable this feature, you can answer a call just by placing the phone near your ear. Next, we have some screen off gestures. First one would be double tap to wake. Now once you enable this feature, as the name suggests, you can just double tap the screen to wake it up. If you're already using face unlock feature on this phone, you can just double tap the screen to wake it up, then your front camera will see your face, and then it will immediately unlock the phone. Overall, it gives you a very immersive experience. Next, we have music controls. Now once you enable this feature, you can draw less than or greater than symbols when the screen is off to play the previous or next songs, and then draw 2 parallel lines to play or pause music. And you also have more gestures to do different actions based on your requirement. Next, we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you how to use that, let me show you how to take a screenshot on this phone. Just press the volume down and power button both at the same time, and your phone will take a screenshot. For some reason, if that's a bit difficult for you, you also have this 3-finger screenshot gesture. Once you enable it, you can just swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. This is definitely my favorite way to take a screenshot. Next, we have long screenshot. Let's say you want to take a long screenshot of this web page. Then this is what you need to do. First, take a regular screenshot. You can either use the buttons or the 3-finger screenshot gesture. Once you do that, you'll see a preview, and now click on the button that says expanded screenshot. Once you do that, your phone will automatically scroll through the page, and at the end, it will give you a long screenshot. Next, we have some quick launch shortcuts for the fingerprint scanner. Once you enable this feature, in the lock screen, you can touch and hold the fingerprint scanner. Even after the phone unlocks, just keep holding it and you will see some quick shortcuts. Now you can swipe your finger left or right to switch between these applications and release the finger to open that particular application. You can also swipe down to close the application. Now from these settings, you can save your quick shortcuts. Next, we have fingerprint animations. Now right out of the box, this is the default animation that we get whenever we use the fingerprint. Besides that, we have a total of 3 animations: Cosmos, Wave and Stripes, and you can use the one based on your preference. By the way guys, fingerprint scanner on this one is super fast, so most of the time you won't even see the animation completely. Next, we have gaming mode. Now this feature gives you tons of options, like it gives you the option to answer calls via speaker, block all banner notifications and all the notifications in general, disable auto brightness. It can even boost the network for a lag-free experience. It also has some advanced features like game display enhancement and haptic feedback enhancement. Next, we have parallel apps. Now this feature allows you to use 2 instances of the same application. Let's say if you want to use 2 Facebook accounts, 2 Instagram accounts or 2 WhatsApp accounts on the same phone, then this feature will allow you to do that. Usually social media applications like Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp support this feature, but OnePlus has also added few additional apps like Paytm, Uber and many more. Next, we have night mode. You can access it from the display settings, and once you enable it, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters the blue light. It can even darken the screen further to make the display more comfortable to use at night. You can either enable it and disable it manually, or schedule it to automatically turn on and turn off at a specific time or from sunset to sunrise. Next, we have reading mode. Now reading mode on this phone is pretty unique. Once you enable this feature, your phone will automatically adjust the screen color temperature and make the display much more comfortable to read. You can either turn it on manually or schedule it to automatically turn on for few specific applications, say like Amazon Kindle or Google's Playbooks. It can also block peak notifications or heads-up notifications, which can be quite annoying, especially while reading. Next, we have ambient display. Even though this phone comes with an AMOLED display, OnePlus is still not offering us always-on display. Instead, OnePlus offers ambient display, which simply lights up the screen every time you get a notification. It will just display your time, date and notification icons. From these settings, you can also change the clock style and even display a custom message. You can configure the ambient display to show up every time you pick up your phone, or whenever you touch the display, or whenever you get a notification. Next, we have some launcher-based gestures. If you are using the stock launcher from OnePlus, you have some cool gestures and you can tweak them from the launcher settings. On your home screen, you can do a swipe down gesture to pull down the notification bar. You can double tap in an empty area to put the phone to sleep. And finally, you can do a swipe up gesture to open the app drawer. Next, we can also switch audio output device on this phone. It's a very unique feature on an Android phone, and personally, I love it. Let's say a Bluetooth headset is connected to your phone and you're watching a video. Now, if you want to hear the audio from the speakers instead of disconnecting the Bluetooth, you can change the audio output device by using the volume buttons. Next, we can also record calls automatically on this phone. You just need to go to the phone dialer and just enable a toggle, and then you can record calls automatically on this phone. As of now, this feature is available in India but might not be available in other countries. So if you can't find this feature on your phone, try to use some third-party application. Next, we have App Locker built into the phone. If you have any applications that hold sensitive information like net banking applications or payment-based apps like Paytm, Google Pay or PhonePe, you can lock all those applications using this feature. It's a nice feature but has very limited options. If you're an advanced user, I'll suggest you to use a third-party application. Next, we have Schedule On and Off. Now this feature allows you to automatically turn on your phone and even turn it off at a specific time on a specific day. You can configure all that from these settings. Next, we have OnePlus Switch. Now this feature or an application will allow you to move all your information from your previous phone to your brand new OnePlus phone. You can transfer all your contacts, messages, photos, videos and audio files, and if it's an Android phone, you can even transfer your applications. Using this application, you can also create a backup copy of all your data. So guys, these are all the best features. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video. If you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.